Food safety. It's pretty important, especially if you are special needs or disabled, but it's overall important for everyone. Food safety is stuff like keeping your workspace clean, making sure you have proper technique and training, and that in some cases you're certified to do the job. Because if you're not trained or prepared, it's unsafe for you to be working in a food setting unless you're at home. Because when you're home, you can do whatever you want and suffer the consequences. But food safety is important not just for you, but for others. Making sure that you have a clean workstation, that you have your proper hygiene, that you are using the right technique so that the people that you are serving don't get sick, but also so that you don't get hurt or sick or what have you. And when you are disabled or special needs, like those of you that I assume are watching, or those that want to learn how to properly just have good food safety, it is equally as important to be calm, collected, and trained. Having the proper training and knowledge to be able to do the proper job is equally as important as being like having the proper cleanliness in the kitchen are all as important towards food safety as the other. With the proper training and certification or what have you, you will then have the knowledge to be able to apply what you know to cooking and the safety of it, so that if you are about to do a violation of food safety, you know and can reroute or fix it. Or if you see someone else that does a violation, you can call it out for the safety of others and those around you, especially those that are eating. Food is important. Being safe is also important. Mixing those and being safe in the kitchen is also very important. When I was taking a food prep class in earlier this year, I knew a lot of what was being taught because I generally like cooking. But there's a lot else that I learned, but I was top of that class because I had the knowledge and was able to apply it, not just on the test, but during the cooking sessions every week. We made stuff like gluten-free noodles, to fruit salad, to cookies, or biscuits, I guess. But we took the knowledge that we learned into cooking while keeping it pretty safe and clean. And cleanliness means, um, wearing clean clothes, making sure that you wash your hands, that you don't touch your hair or clothes or what have you, because then you have to wash your hands again. Safety means closed-toed shoes because you're dealing with knives typically, or other sharp or hot objects. Or something falls, you don't want it to smash your feet. Using proper technique when you're cutting so that you don't cut yourself. And that the food looks nice. But we applied all the knowledge that we gained to cooking, and as someone that didn't properly cook beforehand, like I followed recipes, and we did follow recipes, sure, but we made a lot of the food, the meals, with just single ingredients. Like, sure, we had the noodles for the gluten-free noodles. We weren't making noodles, but we still took everything and put it to cooking. We were using a stovetop. We used an oven. We used a microwave, even. And we used actual sharp knives, and at the end of it, or during it, we were expected to do the dishes. We were expected to clean for most of it, and there were some things that needed extra cleaning. We needed to make sure the counters were clean, and all of that, so that the next people coming in, there weren't any dirty spots that they would have to clean, or that could get into the food they were making to get someone sick, or what have you. It was so important that we did what was necessary to be safe. Because at the end of the day, proper technique and stuff, and making the food and following it to a T is important. Being safe in the kitchen is the most important thing you can do. Because it keeps you safe, it keeps others safe. Even if what you make turns out bad, at least no one's getting sick from it. Proper cooking time matters for safety. And what you could make is complete garbage. As long as it's edible, I guess, and edible doesn't mean it's great. It can be absolutely disgusting. It can be burnt char. But as long as it's not undercooked or what have you, it's still safe to eat. Now, should you eat it? No. It tastes disgusting. But food safety, which includes proper technique and all of that I have been talking about, hygiene, is the most important thing you can do in the kitchen. Now, when you're cooking or when you hear shows like MasterChef, they show you the chopping and all of that and the fun cooking stuff. But the actual important behind the scenes of cleaning, of having proper hygiene, of keeping your workspace clean, they don't show that too much. Which is the most important, arguably the most important bit, is just being safe in the kitchen. And I've repeated that a lot, but with those shows, and they're great shows, somewhat scripted, of course, but being safe matters for the health of you and others. Health for you meaning you're not bleeding out. You don't get sick from eating it or whatever. And for others, well, they're not going to be getting sick from it. Because if they do, you get sued. And if you get sued, you're probably never going to cook again. Or at least not anywhere near that area. And I wouldn't say I'm the best chef or cook or whatever. I mean, I did just kind of land a job as a cook, cashier, cleaner, whatever. But for me, keeping things clean is my most important thing. I hate working with dirty things. If there's a dirty bowl or a knife, I'm not going to use it. I'm going to get something clean. I avoid cross-contamination like my life depends on it, because in some cases, it does. I don't want to be getting sick with salmonella, or E. coli, or whatever. The point is, I focus on proper etiquette in the kitchen, in making sure things are kept clean, reasonable, calm, and not a mess. When I actually do cook, it's not the best technique. It could be better. I do know how to use some good technique, but applying it is a little bit difficult for me as my motor skills aren't the best. But I have the knowledge of hygiene and cleanliness to back me up. You didn't see that. Sorry. I'm a little ADHD, I guess. But speaking of cleanliness, you want to know what you shouldn't have in the kitchen? Pets. This is my cat. She likes to keep herself clean. But yes, you shouldn't have pets in the kitchen. Okay? But yes, being clean is important. Just like cats love to clean themselves, they love being clean. So, that's kind of it for my video. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.